Padmé Amidala died with Anakin's name on her lips, or she was supposed to die. On Polis Massa, the medical droids had no answers. Her body was shutting down, not from injury, but from something deeper, something broken. The twins were born. Luke, Leia, but Padmé's heart? It had already shattered. Obi-Wan stood helplessly at her side. He watched the light fade from her eyes. He heard her final words. There's still good in him. And then she was gone. But the Force felt her. It felt her love, her refusal to let go, her will to protect what she had lost. In that single moment, between life and death, the Force responded. Not with mercy, not with justice, with something older, something beyond the Jedi, beyond the Sith, a fracture in time itself. Padmé's body convulsed, light exploded outward, blinding everyone in the room. Obi-Wan shielded his eyes. The droid sparked and collapsed, the twins cried out. And when the light faded, Padmé Amidala was gone. Not dead, gone. She opened her eyes to heat, blinding, suffocating heat. Sand stretched endlessly in every direction. Two suns blazed overhead. She gasped, clutching her chest, but there was no pain, no wound. Her body was whole. Her hands trembled as she looked down. She was younger. Her senatorial robes were different. This wasn't Polis Massa. This was Tatooine. And she knew exactly when she was, 9 years ago, before the Clone Wars, before the Empire, before everything fell apart. She had been sent back. Padmé moved through Mossispa like a ghost. Everything was the same. The crowds, the heat, the sound of pod engines roaring in the distance. She knew exactly where to go, Watto's junk shop. She stepped inside, and there he was, Anakin Skywalker, 9 years old, small, bright-eyed. Working on a droid with oil-stained hands, he looked up at her and smiled. That same smile, the one she fell in love with. Her chest tightened. "Can I help you?" he asked. She couldn't speak, not at first. This boy didn't know her, didn't know what he would become, didn't know the pain waiting for him. She steadied herself. "I need to talk to you, alone." Anakin frowned, confused. But something in her voice made him listen. They stepped outside into the shade of a moisture vaporator. Padmé knelt down, meeting his eyes. "Anakin," she said softly. "So, you're going to leave this place soon. The Jedi will come for you. You'll be free." His eyes widened. "How do you know that?" "Because I've seen it." She paused. "But I've also seen what comes after, and I'm here to warn you." He stared at her, confused but curious. "There's a man," Padmé continued, her voice low and urgent, "a senator. His name is Palpatine. He'll be kind to you. He'll offer you friendship, guidance. He'll make you feel important when no one else does." Anakin tilted his head. "That sounds good?" "No?" Her voice cracked. "It's not. He's not your friend, Anakin. He's a monster. He'll use you, twist you, turn you into something terrible." Tears filled her eyes. "He'll take everything from you." Anakin stepped back, frightened now. "Who are you?" he whispered. Qui-Gon Jinn studied Padmé with quiet intensity. "You speak of the future," he said calmly, "as if you've lived it." Padmé rose to her feet, heart pounding. She hadn't expected this. Not yet. Qui-Gon wasn't supposed to meet her here. Not like this. She hesitated. "I'm trying to help him." "Help him!" Qui-Gon's gaze shifted to Anakin. The boy stood frozen between them, confused and frightened. "By filling his mind with fear?" "Giving him the truth," Padmé shot back. Qui-Gon's expression didn't change, but his hand remained near his lightsaber. "The Jedi do not believe in prophecy spoken by strangers, especially those who appear out of nowhere." Padmé's breath caught. He suspected something. Of course he did. Qui-Gon Jinn was no fool. Anakin looked up at the Jedi Master. "Master Qui-Gon, is she telling the truth? About the senator? About me?" Qui-Gon knelt beside him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "The future is always in motion, Anakin. No one can see it clearly, not even the Jedi. But she knew you were coming," Anakin whispered. Qui-Gon's eyes narrowed. He turned back to Padmé. "Who are you?" She couldn't answer. "Not truthfully, not yet. Someone who loves him," she said quietly. "Someone who's already lost him once." Padmé Amidala stood before the Jedi Council. 12 of the galaxy's greatest warriors surrounded her. Mace Windu, Yoda, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Plo Koon. They watched her with calm, measured eyes, but she could feel their doubt. "You claim to know the future," Mace Windu said, his deep voice echoing in the chamber. "A bold claim, Senator." "Not a claim," Padmé replied firmly. "A warning." Yoda leaned forward, his ancient gaze piercing. "Traveled through time, you say you have. Impossible this is? Or very dangerous?" "I didn't choose this," Padmé said. "The Force sent me back to stop what's coming." "And what is coming?" Mace asked. She took a breath. "This was it. Senator Palpatine," she said. "He's a Sith Lord. Darth Sidious. He's been manipulating the Republic for years. He'll start a war. He'll destroy the Jedi, and he'll turn Anakin Skywalker into his greatest weapon." Palpatine didn't run, he smiled. "Senator Amidala," he said calmly, stepping into the council chamber. "What fascinating lies you've been telling." Mace Windu ignited his lightsaber. Purple light blazed. "Oh. You will come with us, Chancellor, peacefully." Palpatine tilted his head. "Peacefully? How Jedi of you." Yoda rose from his seat, his small frame radiating power. "Revealed yourself. You have Sidious. In this we will." Palpatine's smile widened. "End it? Oh, Master Yoda, I'm just beginning." He raised his hand, and across Coruscant, the signal went out. Not Order 66, not yet. The clones didn't exist, but Palpatine had always had backup plans, sleeper agents, assassins, corrupted senators, dark side cultists hidden in every corner of the Republic. Within seconds, explosions rocked the Jedi Temple. The council chamber shook. Alarms screamed. Padmé stumbled, grabbing a pillar for balance. Mace turned toward the door. "We're under attack." "Not just here," Palpatine said softly. "Everywhere." Yoda's eyes widened in horror. "The youngling's already dead," Palpatine whispered. Rage flooded the chamber. Mace lunged forward, his blade aimed at Palpatine's heart. But the Sith Lord moved faster. Lightning erupted from his fingertips. Mace blocked it with his saber, the energy crackling between them. Yoda leapt forward, his blade igniting mid-air. The council surrounded Palpatine, but he wasn't afraid. "You think you've won?" Palpatine laughed, his voice echoing with darkness. "I've spent decades preparing for this. The Senate is mine. The military is mine, even without the clones. I will burn the Jedi to ash." Anakin Skywalker ran through fire. The temple was collapsing. Jedi were dying. He'd been in the training hall when the explosion started. Now he sprinted toward the council chambers, his lightsaber ignited, cutting through smoke and debris. He had to find Master Qui-Gon, Master Yoda, someone. But when he burst through the doors, he saw her, Padmé, trapped beneath a fallen pillar, blood streaking her face. She looked up at him, her eyes wide with pain. "Anakin," she whispered. He froze. How did she know his name? Before he could move, a voice cut through the chaos. "She's dying, young Skywalker." Palpatine stepped from the shadows, his robes torn, his face calm. Around him, Jedi and Sith assassins clashed in brutal combat, but Palpatine's eyes were locked on Anakin. "You can save her," Palpatine said, softly. "But only if you're strong enough." Anakin's heart pounded. "Who is she?" "Someone important," Palpatine replied. "Someone the Force has sent to test you." Anakin looked at Padmé. She was struggling to breathe. The pillar was crushing her, and he reached out with the Force trying to lift it, but it was too heavy. He wasn't strong enough. "Use your anger," Palpatine whispered. "Your fear. Channel it. Become what you were meant to be." Anakin's hands trembled. He could feel it, the dark side, pulling at him. Promising power. No. Padmé's voice, weak, but clear. "Don't listen to him, Anakin." He turned to her. Tears filled her eyes. "You're stronger than this," she said. "I've seen it. The real you. The good in you." Mustafar burned. Rivers of lava carved through the planet's surface. The air shimmered with heat. Anakin Skywalker stood on the landing platform, his lightsaber drawn. Beside him, Padmé gripped a blaster, her face set with determination. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. In the future, she remembered Anakin had come here alone, consumed by darkness, ready to kill. But now, everything had changed. "He's here," Anakin said quietly, sensing through the Force. Padmé nodded. "We end this." Together, they moved into the facility. The walls were blackened with soot. The heat was unbearable, and then they found him. Palpatine stood in the control room, overlooking the lava fields. He turned slowly, his face twisted with rage. "You chose her over me." Palpatine hissed. "After everything I offered me lies," Anakin said firmly. "I see that now." Palpatine's eyes burned with hatred. "Then you will die with the rest of them." He moved. Lightning exploded from his hands. Anakin blocked it with his saber, the energy crackling violently. Padmé fired her blaster, but Palpatine deflected the shots with a wave of his hand. She was thrown backward, slamming into the wall. "Padmé!" Anakin screamed. Palpatine laughed. "You see, you're still weak, still afraid of loss. That fear will destroy you." Anakin's rage flared, but this time, he didn't give in. He reached out through the Force, not with anger, with love. Padmé stood, her hand glowing faintly. The Force was with her now, awakened by the anomaly, by her will to survive. Together they struck. They were falling. Fire roared around them. The air itself seemed to scream. Chunks of metal and stone tumbled past, swallowed by the churning lava below. The heat was unbearable. It pressed against them like a physical force, burning their lungs with every breath. Anakin's hand shot out desperately, fingers closing around a jagged beam jutting from the collapsing platform. Pain shot through his shoulder as his body jerked to a halt. His other hand gripped Padmé's wrist with desperate strength. She hung below him, her eyes wide with terror and determination. "Hold on!" Anakin shouted over the deafening roar of the inferno. But they weren't alone. Palpatine clung to the opposite side of the beam. His robes were burned and tattered, hanging in scorched strips. His face was a nightmare of scorched flesh and blood, but his yellow Sith eyes still burned with that terrible, endless hatred. He wasn't finished. "Not yet. If I fall," Palpatine hissed, his voice raw and venomous, "I'm taking you both with me." He raised one trembling hand, his fingers curled like claws. Dark side energy surged around him like a living thing, not lightning, something deeper, something ancient and cruel, a force grip that wrapped around Anakin's throat like invisible chains, squeezing, pulling him downward toward the molten death below. Anakin gasped, his vision blurring. The pressure was immense, crushing. His grip on the beam weakened. His fingers began to slip. "Anakin!" Padmé screamed. She could see it, the fear in his eyes, the struggle, the life being choked out of him. Palpatine was killing him, slowly, cruelly, savoring every moment. Savoring every moment. And she couldn't let that happen. "Not again. Never again. Let him go," she shouted at Palpatine, her voice raw with fury and desperation. Palpatine's lips curled into a broken, bloody smile. "Why would I? He was supposed to be mine, my apprentice, my weapon, my greatest creation. You stole him from me." "He was never yours," Padmé shot back, her voice filled with defiant love. She didn't have a lightsaber. She didn't have years of Jedi training. She wasn't a warrior. She was just a senator. Just a woman who had loved and lost and been given one impossible chance to change everything. But she had something Palpatine could never understand. She had love, pure, unconditional, unbreakable. She reached deep into the Force, deeper than she ever had before, deeper than she thought possible. The anomaly inside her, the fracture in time that had brought her back through the years, responded to her call. It wasn't Jedi power, it wasn't Sith power, and it was something else, something older than both orders, something primal and raw. The Force itself, light exploded from her hands, pure, blinding, radiant, like a supernova contained in human form. Palpatine's Force grip shattered like glass. The invisible chains around Anakin's throat broke. He gasped desperately, sucking in air, his vision clearing. He looked down at Padmé in absolute shock. "Padmé, how? I don't know," she whispered, staring at her own glowing hands in wonder and fear. "But I'm not letting him win, not this time." Palpatine snarled, his face contorted with pure rage. "You think you can stop me? You're nothing. A broken woman from a broken future. A ghost that shouldn't exist." "Maybe," Padmé said quietly, her voice steady now. "But I'm the woman who loves him. And that's enough." She looked up at Anakin. Their eyes met across the burning air, and in that moment, he understood what she was about to do. "No," Anakin said, his voice breaking with realization and horror. "Padmé, don't." But she was already moving. She let go of his hand and threw herself at Palpatine. "Padmé!" Anakin's scream tore through the air, raw and agonized. She collided with the Sith Lord, her arms wrapping around him in a deadly embrace. Palpatine's eyes widened in genuine shock for the first time in decades. They tumbled together, falling away from the beam, spiraling down toward the molten rivers below. "Foolish girl!" Palpatine shrieked, clawing at her face and throat. "You've doomed us both." "Good," Padmé whispered into his ear, "if that's what it takes." And the light inside her flared, brighter, 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 brighter than the lava churning below them, brighter than the fire consuming the facility, brighter than the twin suns of Tatooine where this had all begun. Anakin watched in frozen horror as they fell. He reached out desperately with the Force, trying to pull her back, trying to save her, but it was too late. She was too far, moving too fast, beyond his reach. And then something impossible happened. The light from Padmé's body exploded outward in a massive shockwave. Time stopped. Everything froze. The falling debris suspended in midair, the churning lava motionless like a photograph, the flames frozen in twisted shapes. Even Anakin, hanging from the beam, felt his heartbeat slow to absolute stillness. The Force itself fractured. He could feel it happening. A shockwave rippling through the very fabric of existence, through past, present, and future all at once. The timeline splitting, branching, collapsing, reforming. One reality where Padmé died on Poly's Massa giving birth, where Anakin became Darth Vader, consumed by darkness and rage. Where the Empire rose and the Jedi fell, and the galaxy screamed under tyranny for decades. Another reality where she returned to Tatooine to warn him. Where she exposed Palpatine too early. Where the Sith Lord struck back with ruthless efficiency. And now, a third reality being born in this moment. One where she sacrificed everything to save him, to give him a chance. All of the timelines, all of the possibilities, folding into this single, impossible moment of choice and consequence. Anakin saw it all. Flashes, fragments, visions cascading through his mind. Luke and Leia, grown and strong, leading a desperate rebellion against impossible odds. Himself encased in black armor, mechanical breathing echoing through cold corridors, choking the life from officers who failed him. Padmé, older and wiser, standing in the Senate, fighting with words and laws instead of weapons, never giving up hope. Palpatine victorious, sitting on a throne of bones and broken dreams, the galaxy kneeling before him, the Jedi Temple burning, then rebuilt by survivors, then burning again in endless cycles of destruction. Hope, despair, light, darkness, victory, defeat, sacrifice, redemption. All of it swirling together in a cosmic storm of possibilities. And then silence, complete, total silence. When the light finally faded, Anakin was alone. He hung from the beam, gasping, his body trembling uncontrollably. Below him, the lava churned and bubbled as if nothing had happened. No sign of Padmé, no sign of Palpatine, no bodies, no wreckage, just fire and emptiness and silence. No, Anakin whispered hoarsely. No, 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 no! He pulled himself up with the last of his strength, scrambling desperately onto what remained of the platform. His legs gave out immediately. He collapsed to his knees, staring at the molten rivers below with hollow eyes. She was gone. Padmé was gone. He had lost her. Again. Just like before, just like in the future she had come from. History repeating itself in cruel new ways. But then he felt it, a presence. Faint, distant, but unmistakably there. Deep in the Force, not gone, changed, transformed into something beyond physical form. He closed his eyes, reaching out with everything he had left. And he heard her voice, soft, warm, familiar, real. I'm still here, Anakin. I'll always be here. His breath hitched. Tears streamed down his soot-covered face, cutting clean trails through the ash. Padmé, you have to finish this, save the galaxy, be the Jedi you were meant to be, the one I always believed you could be. I can't do it without you, he choked out. Yes, you can. You already have. You chose the light. You chose love over fear. That's all that matters now. Far above, the sound of engines approaching, a ship landing on an upper platform, heavy footsteps on metal, voices calling his name through the smoke and chaos. Anakin, 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 where are you? Obi-Wan Kenobi, Master Yoda. Mace Windu, the Jedi had arrived, the survivors coming to rescue him from the inferno. Anakin opened his eyes slowly. He stood on trembling legs, his entire body shaking but somehow steady. He looked down at the lava one final time, at the place where she had fallen, where she had saved him. And he whispered into the burning air, "Thank you." Then he turned away from the fire and walked toward the light streaming through the doorway above. Deep below, in the darkest heart of Mustafar's volcanic chambers, something stirred in the shadows. A body, burned beyond recognition. Broken in 1,000 places, but alive. Impossibly horribly alive. Palpatine's yellow eyes opened in the darkness, and he smiled through cracked, bleeding lips. The game wasn't over, it was just beginning.